What if I told you that the moment you stopped seeking love was the moment love began seeking you? Stay with me because what I'm about to share will challenge everything you've been taught about feminine worth, desire, and the path to wholeness. You know that feeling, don't you? That sudden, inexplicable urge to step back from the dating apps, to stop texting him back, to cancel plans and just breathe. Your friends call it self-sabotage. Your family calls it being too picky. But your body is whispering something entirely different. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why that whisper might be the most important voice you've ever heard. Because there's a phenomenon happening right now, quietly, powerfully, among women who are choosing silence over the noise of modern romance. And it's not what you think. It's not about giving up on love. It's about something far more radical. It's about remembering who you were before you forgot. Let me tell you about Sarah. She was 28, successful, conventionally attractive, had her pick of men, her calendar full of dates, her Instagram perfectly curated with couple photos. And she was dying inside. Not dramatically, just fading, like a radio slowly losing its signal. One Tuesday evening, sitting across from yet another perfect on paper man at yet another trendy restaurant, something inside her just stopped. She excused herself, drove home, and didn't answer her phone for 3 months. Her friends were horrified. Her mother was concerned. But Sarah was finally breathing. What happened to Sarah is what Carl Jung called the call to individuation, but it's manifesting in a way he never could have predicted. In our hyper-sexualized, swipe-right culture, women are experiencing a different kind of awakening, not through connection, but through conscious disconnection. And here's what's fascinating. The women who answer this call report something extraordinary. Vivid dreams, heightened intuition, a sense of coming home to themselves. But here's the part that might surprise you. This isn't about becoming a nun or swearing off men forever. This is about something far more powerful. Jung understood that all repressed energy finds a new way to manifest. When we stop pouring our life force into external validation, something incredible happens. The soul finally has space to speak. And what it says changes everything. Think about it. When did you last sit in complete silence without reaching for your phone? When did you last feel comfortable being alone with just you? If that thought makes you squirm, you're not alone. We've been conditioned to fear the very silence that could set us free. I want to be honest with you about something. 2 years ago, I was Sarah. Different details, same story. I thought my worth was measured by how much I was desired. I thought love meant being chosen by someone else. And then my body made a choice I didn't understand at the time. It went quiet. Not broken, not frigid, not damaged. Sacred. And in that sacred quiet, I discovered something that changed the entire trajectory of my life. What I'm about to share with you isn't just theory. It's not just ancient wisdom or psychological concepts. It's a roadmap back to yourself, a path that thousands of women are quietly walking right now. Women who've discovered that the absence of external noise creates space for an internal voice, so powerful, so clear, so undeniably true, that everything else becomes background music. And that voice, it's been waiting for you your entire life. Are you ready to listen? The awakening begins. When a woman's body chooses silence, the world doesn't understand, but the soul does. Picture this. You're at a party, surrounded by people, music, laughter. Everyone's having fun. But you feel like you're watching from behind glass. The conversations about weekend hookups, the endless analysis of text messages, the desperate energy of women trying to decode male behavior, it all feels empty. And for the first time, that emptiness doesn't scare you. It intrigues you. This is the moment Jung called the encounter with the shadow. But for the modern woman, it looks different. Your shadow isn't your repressed darkness. It's your repressed wholeness. The part of you that doesn't need to be completed by anyone else. The resistance. But let me warn you, this path isn't easy. Society will resist you. Friends will question you. Family will worry about your biological clock. Dating articles will tell you you're too picky or self-sabotaging. And part of you will believe them. There will be nights when the silence feels like punishment instead of peace. When you wonder if you're wasting your youth, missing opportunities, becoming too weird, too deep, too much. This is where most women turn back. They convince themselves that any connection is better than none. They settle for lukewarm love, half-hearted attention, relationships that feel like wearing shoes 2 sizes too small. But the woman who stays, the woman who trusts the process, even when it doesn't make sense, she's about to discover who she really is. Somewhere in that sacred quiet, something shifts. The questions change. Instead of, why doesn't he text back? You start asking, why do I need him to? Instead of, how do I make him want me? You start asking, what do I actually want? And the answers surprise you. You discover that you don't actually miss the drama. You don't miss the anxiety of waiting for responses. You don't miss performing your femininity for an audience. You miss nothing. Because you found something better. You found yourself. Not the version of yourself that changes depending on who's watching. Not the version that shrinks to fit into someone else's expectations. The unedited, unfiltered, unapologetically whole version. And this version, she doesn't need to be chosen. She chooses. This is where the story gets interesting. Women who walk this path report something remarkable. Their intuition becomes razor sharp. Their dreams become prophetic. They start knowing things before they happen. It's as if stepping away from the noise allows them to tune into a frequency they never knew existed. Jung would call this accessing the collective unconscious. the deep well of feminine wisdom that connects us all. But you don't need to understand the psychology to experience the magic. You just need to trust the silence. Because here's what nobody tells you. When you stop being available for ordinary love, extraordinary love becomes possible. Not the desperate, clinging, completing each other kind of love, the kind that comes from two whole people choosing to walk together. The kind that doesn't diminish you, it amplifies you. But let's get practical for a moment. How do you know if you're being called to this path? How do you distinguish between healthy solitude and self-sabotage? Listen to your body, not your mind. Your mind will rationalize anything. Your body. Does the thought of another meaningless date make you feel heavy or light? Does your nervous system calm down or rev up when you're alone? When you imagine a future without the constant chase for romantic validation, do you feel empty or free? Your body knows. It's been trying to tell you. The fatigue after social events, the way certain touches feel wrong, the urge to cancel plans and just be. This isn't depression. This is discernment. Your nervous system is protecting you from connections that drain rather than nourish. But here's the part that will really blow your mind. This journey isn't just personal, it's archetypal. You're not just healing yourself, you're healing the collective wound of women who've been taught that their worth lies in being wanted rather than in simply being. Every woman who chooses wholeness over halves makes it easier for the next woman to choose herself. Think about the women in your lineage. Your grandmother who might have stayed in an unfulfilling marriage because she had no other choice. Your mother who might have taught you that a woman without a man is somehow incomplete. You have the opportunity to break that pattern. Not through anger or rebellion, but through the radical act of self-love. By becoming so whole that you change what's possible for every woman who comes after you. In ancient cultures, there was a recognized archetype, the temple priestess. She wasn't celibate because she couldn't have love. She was celibate because she was in service to something greater than romantic love. She was in service to truth. The modern woman walking this path is a kind of temple priestess for our time. She's not rejecting love. She's holding space for a different kind of love to emerge. Love that doesn't possess. Love that doesn't diminish. Love that honors rather than consumes. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you stop needing love, you become a magnet for it. But now you're magnetic for the right reasons. Not because you're performing or pretending or changing yourself to fit someone else's fantasy. Because you're authentically, unapologetically you. So, what happens next? If you're feeling called to this path, what does it actually look like? First, give yourself permission to trust what your body is telling you. If you're tired of the dating game, you don't have to play it. If you need space to remember who you are, take it. If you need silence to hear your own voice, claim it. This doesn't mean you'll never love again. It means when love comes, it will find a woman who knows her own worth, a woman who can receive love without losing herself in it. Second, prepare for the resistance, both external and internal. People will project their fears onto your choices. They'll tell you you're being unrealistic, too picky, that you'll end up alone. Smile and trust your process. Imagine this: a world where women don't give their power away for crumbs of affection, where we don't settle for relationships that require us to become smaller versions of ourselves, where we choose love from abundance rather than from need. This isn't a fantasy. This is what happens when women remember their worth. And it starts with women like you, women who are brave enough to choose silence over noise, solitude over settling, wholeness over halves. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." For the feminine soul, this becoming often requires a season of holy withdrawal, a time when the body says no to what doesn't serve, so the soul can say yes to what does. If this message found you, it wasn't by accident. Your soul has been calling you home, and maybe today is the day you finally answer. I want you to try something. Tonight, before you go to sleep, sit in complete silence for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you and your breath and the sound of your own heartbeat. And listen, really listen. What is your body trying to tell you? What is your soul whispering that you've been too busy to hear? Don't analyze it, don't judge it. Just receive it. Because here's the truth: you already know everything you need to know. You're just remembering. The woman who chooses this path doesn't disappear from the world. She returns to it as herself, not as someone's girlfriend or wife or muse or fantasy, as her own woman. And when she loves again, and she will love again, it will be from a place of fullness, not emptiness, from choice, not compulsion, from strength, not need. This is what sacred feminine power looks like in the modern world. Not aggressive, not masculine, not trying to prove anything, simply whole. So I'm extending an invitation to trust what your body already knows, an invitation to honor what your soul is calling you toward, an invitation to remember that you are not broken or difficult or too much. You are exactly as you were meant to be. And if that means your body chooses silence for a season so your soul can finally speak, honor that choice. Trust that process. Know that you are not alone, because there are women all over the world who are walking this path with you. Women who've discovered that the absence of external noise creates space for an internal voice so powerful, so clear, so undeniably true that everything else becomes background music. The silence of your body is not emptiness. It's a temple. It's sacred space. It's your soul finally having room to breathe. And when it speaks, listen. Because that voice, your voice, is the one you've been waiting for your entire life. And it's been waiting for you too. Welcome home.